Hello, 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 and welcome. Thank you all for being here. Part two. So I actually did a stream yesterday and just got cut off. So if anyone was watching that, I didn't mean to just stop. I was actually going through my photos and then realised I was just talking to myself. So I am up at the house today, so we shouldn't have any internet issues. So let me know if everything looks and sounds good. And hello to everyone, 37 of you here already. Thank you all for being here. Just JP, Sherry Ives, hello Angela, baby Carson, Julie, now how do I say that? Julie Tequart, hello Julie. Annette, hello. Jamie Griffin, Red RD Nink, all these names, man. Redenki, Missia Kafana, hello. Andy Sings, hello. I am Kairos, hey. JJ Recon, Old World Michigan, Scotty Satin, Bonnie Greater X, nice. Redneck Rebel, and everyone else who I have missed. Thank you all for being here. Hope you're having a fantastic morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you may be. It is 8:21 a.m. here on the east coast of Australia, and it's a little bit chilly. There's a lot of mist in the air. So today, yesterday we had a look at a few things, but and it wasn't the best stream. It had big cuts in it everywhere. So I've taken that down, and I'm going to remake those segments that we looked at into videos for anyone who missed it. And today we've got new stuff. I thought, don't want to repeat ourselves. So let's jump into it, right? You may have seen, what we'll start with, we're back in Sydney again today. And now let me make sure I've got this sorted. So we've got a couple of places we're going to have a look at. We've got some interesting photos that hopefully we'll get through. I tried, but that's where I got cut off yesterday. But to start with, I thought we would look at Fort Macquarie in Sydney. Now, that is actually the place where the Sydney the Sydney Opera House is at the moment. So they knocked it over to build, well, they say they knocked it over to build a tram station, which kind of looks like it's the same building, or at least a part of the same construction, and then they knocked that over to build the Opera House. So it's a pretty interesting story, and then we're going to have a look at one of the old insane asylums. Why not, right? So let me see where I am. Okay, I think I am ready. Oh, that was not the right button. Gosh, where am I? I may have, oh, there it is. Okay. All right, now I can see my screen. Hello, 58 of you watching. So let's get in and we'll have a bit of a look at Fort Macquarie in New South Wales. Where are we? Fort Macquarie. Oh my gosh. What am I doing? This one? This one. Okay, hang with me. I think we're getting there. All right. Is that the right one? This one. This is Fort Macquarie. I've got some pictures, some bigger pictures we can have a look at in a minute. But as you can see, it's that's literally like King Arthur's castle, right? The front bit there. And what it says is Governor Lachlan Macquarie directed that a fort be built between December 1817. Okay, remember the narrative is that Captain Cook turned up with a couple of boatloads of convicts in 1788. So what are we talking? 29 years to February 1821. So 4 years to build this, where they don't know where the resources are, blah, 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 at Bennelong Point, under the directions of Francis Greenway. And the fort was named after Governor Lachlan Macquarie, and it was a square fort with circular bastions at each corner, that are these, and a castellated square tower, castellated, or cast. The battery consisted, I'll try and get through this. The battery consisted of 15 pieces of ordnance. Ordnance, I think that's weapons, 10 24-pounders and 5 6-pounders, which are probably cannons. Three sides of the fort abutted Sydney harbour. So basically it was out on a point, 3 sides surrounded by water. And then down here, something interesting, it says this thing had a drawbridge. The 2-story tower in the middle of the fort housed a guard room and a storehouse. The tower was 90 feet in circumference. A powder magazine capable of storing 350 barrels of gunpowder was constructed underneath, and the tower could provide accommodation for small military detachment of 1 officer and 18 men, with stores for the battery. A drawbridge on the landward side. Okay, so this thing is surrounded by water in three sides, and it has a drawbridge where there's no water. Over a small channel leading to a gate beneath the tower provided entry to the fort. So this thing, yeah, had a drawbridge. And then Fort Macquarie was demolished in 1901 to make way for the new electric tram sheds named Fort Macquarie Tram Depot, and this be them. And as you can see, this is quite a castle-esque building, right? Literally, they say they built this to store trams in, as like a tram depot. Fort Macquarie Tram Depot, there we go. So before the Opera House, the Fort Macquarie Tram Depot occupied this site. It was a huge shed with brick walls. That's a huge shed with brick walls. Built like a Gothic castle, thank you, with fabulous harbour views. What would you need harbour views? And tram tracks everywhere. So here's another pic of it. Like I said, I've got some bigger pics of these we can have a look at. And electric trams in Sydney. Yes, there were. All across Australia, all across the realm. The Opera House was a wonderful fantasy from 1950s Labor government, blah, blah, blah. Fort Macquarie Tram Depot was demolished in 1958 to make way for the construction of the Sydney Opera House. All right. So this is just a picture we can have a look at more. So it's on Bennelong Point. So I'm going to get into that. I don't think there's not a lot here on Wiki. I mean, that's it, right? Like one little page. Fort Macquarie was a square, it's basically what we just read, right? And this is what you find a lot in all these different websites. They just copy and paste the exact same narrative. So it's hard to find, different points of view. Now, we can look at this. This is Fort Macquarie, the North Shore, Sydney, circa 1885. And as you can see, this looks like a buried castle, doesn't it? You can see here there's a bit of, they've been digging holes or something. And, the big giveaway again, which I always point out, is look at these wooden fences. Can we zoom in here? No. Wooden fences, right? Like, look at the construction here. I mean, they're better than the fences you make today, no doubt, mortise and tenon joints and everything, but just bits of wood. This picket fence, bits of wood, right, surrounding this stone constructed castle. I mean, these are clearly 2 different types of technology. And again, this is a wooden building down here, and the front door of this is wood. I mean, come on, retrofitting anyone? What else we got here? Bennelong Point. This man with his cannons. What are cannons? So as you see, they're all lining up. These were what I was calling before. What was it calling them? I can't remember. But basically the ordinances. So these are some of the ordinances, cannons. And of course, what are they defending against, right? This is where it is. Maybe we'll go on Google Earth in a minute and have a look. Australia, 1800s. Who's coming here? Who's coming to attack Australia in the 1800s to warrant a fort like that? But the fort, it's not even at the heads. It's not at the entrance to the harbour. It's way inside. So it doesn't make a lot of sense, really, does it? So before we have a look at the pictures, I just want to show you why it's named Bennelong Point. So this is the land that the fort used to sit on and the Opera House is on now, is Bennelong Point. And that is named after Woolarari, I'm going to say this badly, Woolarari Bennelong, from 1764 to 1813, also spelt Bennelong, was a senior man of the Eora and Aboriginal Australian people at the Port Jackson area at the time of the first British settlement in Australia in 1788. And it goes down, basically, it creates a story that he was rising up in, he's rising up his status in the tribes, and he's had sisters who married, important people from nearby clans, thereby creating political links for their brother, is sort of how it explains it. And he ended up being basically the main, what's the word, like, is it consort? I don't know, interpreter as well, I guess. But basically the guy who was from the native people was talking to the British. He was the main source of communication. And so he ended up getting, getting ranked up and everything, I guess, and by the British people, looked after a bit. But it sort of says, when you read this, it says that he stays, he was, it's a funny story. It says he was definitely in the tribes, and he was, consolidating his power and everything, and he was married to a native and all this kind of stuff. But at the other side, it's trying to say that he was basically working with the British. So it's a strange story, which I may get into more. But it says he married the Cammeray clanswoman Barangaroo, who died shortly after in 1791. He then took up with a Griagal woman after kidnapping her. Okay, and they stayed together a year until his departure for England. So he went to England. On his return, he had a son by another woman who was adopted by an Anglican priest, William Walker, and christened Thomas Walker Coke. His last wife was buried with him. Now, what I find interesting about this is this picture of him. Now, of course, they're going to say that, he was dressed like this because the British dressed him like this. I don't know. Who knows, right? It's just an interesting picture. Like, look at his haircut. He looks like he's got sideburns here. What did the British really find when they got here is the question, because I'm pretty sure that they found a castle and they decided to call it Macquarie Fort. So let me stop sharing this and I shall come back and have I got that up? I got that. Yes. So let's go and have a picture. Let's go and have a look. It's very early morning here at Fort Macquarie. Let's see what they built in 4 years, within 30 years of landing here, not knowing whether there was any resources, with just convict labour is what we're told. And what they built was this. So here we go. You can see this wall here goes straight into the river. That's not an easy thing to construct. And again, we have these, this castle built very well, perfectly right out of, I think this one is sandstone, but I mean, that's an old world castle, right? It's got these crosses in the wall and everything. And next to it, we have this little wooden shed. So they've built this, but they haven't, forethought enough to build a boat shed, because this looks like the boat shed with its little wooden canoes. So there's just such a disjunct in the level of technology. This is an aerial shot. And as you can see, this looks, that looks a bit starry, doesn't it, right? This is the citadel, I guess. And we see these, around the realm with these rounded corners, a bit different to the pointy ones that most stars have. Yes, I'm still calling them stars, but clearly, they're not, what are they? Frequency portals, who knows? But this kind of looks like, a star fort, right? And it looks very buried. And so they're saying they built this to defend against what? Like, seriously, what are they defending against to warrant this amount of work and resources to go into this little thing that they knocked over 50 years later? So was it already there? At a lot of these pictures, you can see here, there's a bit of, see that corner right there? Looks like a block, right? Nature doesn't make right angles. Under the ground. And a lot of these pictures, you'll see the ground falling away, like this is buried. we're only seeing the top of what this is. So, maybe that's why they built the Opera House there, because there was good foundations, right? Another shot showing you, again, the level of tech, right? These wooden little fishing boats, they're strung up to a piece of rope to just a piece of wood that they've had to attach to the side of this, amazingly constructed masonry wall that goes straight into the Sydney Harbour. Now, how did they build that? Like, seriously, you need to put a surround here to hold the water back, get in and build the wall, and then let the water back in. I mean, how else do you do it? Unless you've got robots or something that can go underwater, and cement that sets underwater. So it's a silly, this is just the juxtaposition. Again, you'll see here all these bits of wood. Just, this is what they're using. They're using wood, but they want us to believe that they built this out of stone. And look how, how old it looks, right? Again, not the best photo. There's old, obviously. But you can see this looks like an extremely old structure, right? Very weathered. And if it's a fort, what are these dudes doing just fishing here? Like, come on, where's the army? That one we saw. So this is what they built. They say they knocked over that fort, that castle, and clearly it's gone. It was sort of out here. And then they say they built this very castle-esque building for a tram depot. And they called it just a shed that looked like a Gothic castle. So was that actually the back part of Bennelong? I mean, I don't know what's happened with the heights here either. Maybe this was buried, right? Who knows? Maybe they uncovered it. And then, of course, they knocked it over, because why not? So this one lasted, I think about, 58 years, I think. I think it was built in 1901. This is an old shot. So this is not dated, but clearly, got tall ships in the harbour. And this is it. Okay, again, not many pixels in these old photos. You can see it's out on this point. And, from this shot, I mean, that kind of looks like the tram depot. That's it looks bigger than the fort they show. And this might be the fort there, that bit jutting up. So maybe the fort was behind it, but was this the tram station? Because that fort, I don't know. It just it's very strange, right? Why would they be building tram stations in a Gothic design for starters? And here we go. Are they uncovering it? Okay, because look at this. Again, a big castle tower coming up, made of masonry, and look what's on the front, a little wooden box. That's the tech they could build, not this. And what are they digging, right? Are they putting this wall up, or are they taking this wall down? Because if you look in there, not that it looks like they're taking it apart, doesn't it? So is that an old world, like part of the old fort, and they uncover? Because this looks buried here, doesn't it? It looks very buried, and like they're uncovering something. Again, this is what they built. They tell us. So, I mean, the problem with Australia is there's not a lot on our history. I'm going to have to start digging through newspapers and things, because, we seem very short on photos and stories. And of course, what they say is that it was all stored in the Garden Palace, which was the building for the Expo, the World Expo in Sydney, and it burnt down with all the history of Australia in it. And that was around 1900, I think. Again, right, everything's 1901. Reset dates. Again, another shot. Trams in a castle. Because why not? New country, you don't know where anything is, you're struggling for resources, so you build castles to put your trams in. And here's another shot, again, an old one. You can see we've got horses here. And so this is, this is a bit that we're shown, right? The turret and that sort of tall castle bit. This is what's at the front, which is like the citadel sort of bit with the rounded edges. Not too many photos of that. And then at the back, we have this. So is this bit here at the back, is that what became the tram station? Because it's half buried. Did they just uncover this and knock the front down? You know, that's what it's kind of looking like. And here is what we have. And they don't even leave a plaque to the fort. It's just to the tram station, the tram sheds. Oh. Another old shot where this clearly looks buried. Look at this. I mean, look at this. I mean, I'll zoom in, but again, we're lacking pixels. But look at this. This tower is literally just popping out of the ground. It's not level. And the fort's behind it. And you can just see the build-up here of dirt. You know, these walls, a bit hard to see in this picture, but that looks buried, right? So, and that looks like there's less there. Because look, we've just got the tower, and then behind it this citadel bit and a couple of walls. Now, if we go back to this one, here's the citadel. But look, see these walls here? A lot higher, right? Has that just been uncovered? See down here? It's not, they're just the tops of them popping out. So it looks like they've got in and taken all this dirt out. So I'm thinking that tram station was there. And of course, this is what is there now. The Sydney Opera House. Oh, what happened then? No, whoops. And another shot, an aerial shot. So this is the tram shed. So this is the bit, and as you can see, this is now level. Look at this, completely level, right? Very flat. Got a big, wow, is that a big wall? Kind of looks like a big old wall, doesn't it? Up around there, but now this is completely level. Okay, so was this buried? Have they uncovered it? Because again, look, this is not level. You can see we've got the land down here, and this clearly goes way up with stuff buried in there. Even there, that looks like a little square thing. So look, what do you reckon, right? Completely flat. And this is where the citadel was out the front here. And of course, they've kept, you know, the man-made wall and everything that was already there. So it looks like this was the back part of that, you know, whatever we want to call it, Star Fort. And they've uncovered it and turned it into a tram shed. What do you think? What do you think? All right, let's go back. Let's stop sharing. And hello. All right, 100 of you watching. Thank you all for being here. Am I still live? Yes, good. I didn't get disconnected. All right. Hello, everyone. Colin Goodard. A lot of old newspapers from late 1902 through to 1930s. 1903, sorry. I'm missing. Wow, nice. Something happened to not print the newspapers, yeah? Or they were destroyed, but yeah, exactly right. Maybe it was all stopped for a while. Definitely looks like a reset. Oh, hello, Yana. What will you do? Masons hijacked the Tartarian Empire for themselves to rent out for people. Yeah, pretty much. And they kept the palaces, right? Hello, New West Reset. How you going? I'm Chorus. Always founded. Always found. Yes, found dead. Right, found empty. Hello, Kiwi MacArthur. Thank you for being here. 17 Joy, star fortage of Sydney would be about 60 kilometre. Star fortage of Sydney would be about 60 kilometre star. Like, you mean the Star City? How'd you work that out? Just let me know. Is there a ratio? Hello, Hugh. Thank you. Scott Rose. Hello. Helen. Hello. Thank you for being here. And of course, Helen is a member. If you would like to be a member of my channel, you'll find, I don't think the link's below. I don't know how you do it. How do you do it? I don't know. You can join somewhere. I'm so bad at this. And I am going to be doing at the very least, sort of bi-weekly Zoom meetings for everyone who's, you know, all the supporters through Patreon, PayPal, and my channel, and all that kind of stuff. So, but I am having a few issues with internet at the moment, so I'm working on that. Just got to get my dome up, right? My dome home. Hello. Yes, let's have a party. Eyes wide shut, UK in the house, and of course, Sherry Eyes. Hello. Thank you, as always, and thank you to all the mods. I love you all. And as you can see, I'm going to be live myself, Kelly, and JCK, Tartaria and beyond, Melbourne, July the 8th, which is in just under 4 weeks. There you go. Tickets link below. You can get your tickets at tartariaaustralia.com. So come along and join us. All right. Campbell, do you think star forts and crop circles could be related? Definitely 100%. Yes. I think that crop circles are made by earth energies, shall we say, for want of a better word. There's actually videos out there, they used to be out there, of crop circles being formed, and that you get these little balls of light, these little orbs that spin around, and then there's this crop circle. And so I think that they're natural energy, like ley line vortex points where they cross over. And that's probably what initiates the designs of the stars, because it's based on a certain frequency, which frequencies show themselves as geometric patterns. So definitely 100% I do. And I think they were probably built on first, with mounds and then up and became star forts. And there's still the same places where that they then put cathedrals and all these types of things and sacred spots, all to do with energy. All to do with energy. Well, thank you very much, Home Slices. I agree. Everyone is awesome. Thank you all for being here. Hello. A partner gosh, a partner in time, BZ. Hello, Michael De Silva. Hello. Oh, Hippie Shake is here. Hello, Hippie. Thank you for being here. Love you as always. There is a link. If you would like to support my work, you'll find links below. But please, obviously, give me a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and share this content around if you find it interesting. Yeah, man. Who built the incredible structures? Not us. Okay, that's good. Our ancestors is what I would say, but they were probably larger and knew a lot more than us. Definitely. So let's get into. Let's go through some photos. I'll do my photo. This is where I got cut off yesterday, so cross your fingers. Is everything good, by the way? I haven't been glitching out or anything like that. No, good. All right. So this is just a bunch. I just collect sort of pictures over the week as I go along, and so I've got some pictures. So let's have a look if I can work this all out. And some of these I showed yesterday, but obviously didn't get through them all. So there may be some crossover. All right, where are we? Window. Okay, so this was made by my friend Cameron. This is a medallion, like a thing to wear, and it's all built. As you can see, it's a circle, well, 2 circles with all these other circles. What is it? 6 circles around the outside. And there's 3 of those put together, and they're all made. They're called tensor coils. They're made basically from the length is measured out to a sacred cubit, which is a frequency and a vibration, and then they're turned into these amazing things. So there you go. That's very cool. This is a shot of the farm. This is basically the view from where I am at the moment. I'm staying in a tent. I don't know why these pictures are up at the bottom, but yeah, blue skies. This is winter too. This is a winter's day where I am, sort of low 20s, blue skies most days. This is the morning though. It gets pretty chilly. Just looking out, it's almost 9 and pretty much all the mist is gone, but we've got, what have we got? 3 spring-fed billabongs, or, ponds, small lakes, and a river, and we're in like a valley, so it gets pretty misty. There's another shot. All right, so these we looked at yesterday, so I'll just run through them quickly. These, I'm not sure where this is, but some tall, what we would call Asian or maybe Mongolian-looking characters, quite large, and when you see the other photos of them, you'll see that they've got a lot of these attributes, even down here, like these scrolly bits, right? Very, we see them on the buildings, right? The Tartarian stuff, these as well, but definitely see them in like a lot of the Sumerian type art. This is Glasgow, 1900, Glasgow International Exhibition, or 1901. And this is it today. So this is what Glasgow looked like in 1901, right? I mean, that's a good one, right? That almost rivals Ohio. Look at that. I haven't actually looked at the Glasgow World Fair. Maybe I'll have to. And this is it today. Brutalism. Sorry, I can't. Oh, there we go. Yeah, this is what they replace it with, right? Little cells to put people in. From this. So this is macro, free energy system. This is micro, closed grid, right? Imagine living in a society where even street lights are beautiful. And this is what we had. We still see these, across the realm, in all the old photos, and this is what we have now. Mass-produced crap, putting out bad frequencies. And this, as you will see, this is on a bridge. Okay, so we will be told that this started off as a gas lamp because, of course, they didn't have electricity when these were first put in. This is on a bridge again. Where's the gas bottle? It's not part of it. So was there gas piping? Who knows? But if there, was, when did it got changed over to electricity? How did they run? Where are the cables? This is on a bridge. They couldn't dig under it. So, we see this stuff like this all over the place where they say they went from gas to electricity, but that, they can't explain how. Confucius say, pray, pray, pray. So this guy looks like he's asking him some questions. And he's saying, Confucius say. So pretty cool, very nice. I mean, that's a pretty well-made statue. Look at the sleeves here. I wonder, was this cast? Who knows? Oh, yeah, okay. So this is aerobics, old world style, I think. I'm pretty sure that's what it's about. I think they got hold of a Jane Fonda aerobics workout video. And this guy, see, hands up with your sword and your trident. Oh, don't do this one. That's the eat a baby one. Don't do that. Then grow bigger than your horse. Then both arms up with a conch shell, woohoo, and a turtle on your head. Okay, this is the movements. I hope you're all doing these at home. Then legs out, arms out, make a funny face. Then take a pose. Take another pose with a caduceus. Then legs out, arms out again. And then back to the center, stand on a turtle, one arm up, one arm down. And there you go. That's the aerobics of the old world. And it's good to do it, around animals, I think. I'm pretty sure that's what it's saying. Who knows? Maybe it could be astrology, since it's got all the astrological signs around the outside. Who knows? Tall man. Oh, tall ladder. Man on a tall ladder, taking a photo, facing the wrong way because the good stuff looks to be behind him. Look at the size of this, massively oversized building, just rubble everywhere, right? We see this so often. But, this photo I think is put out because we have all these bird's eye view, panoramas and pictures, and they're probably going to say this is how they did them because they can't talk about airships, right? Because they weren't supposed to exist. Even, what do they say, 1700s, and basically it was, balloons. But Da Vinci, drew, he's got pictures of airships, from way before that. When was Da Vinci? 1500s, I think. Could be wrong. This is the what's it called? The lost city, the forbidden city in China, basically where the emperor lives. Huge, massive wall. This is a star fort as well. If you look at it from above, mud flood. Is hopefully this man is not having a poo. He looks to be looking at the camera and smiling, so who knows? Yeah, look at this, an old temple, massively oversized. Look at these pillars, almost looking like fascies, bundles of pillars joined together, and just destroyed, right? Look at this pillar. It's just been snapped off. And just, yeah, right. Reset world. This guy's doing his best statue pose. He's dressed up to look like him. But got to hold your hands together, dude. So again, these, I mean, definitely in Asia somewhere, right? This guy looks kind of, could be Chinese, I guess, but Asian. So these things, like we find these, they try and tell us, oh, no, it's just in Sumeria and, just in Egypt maybe, but these giant statues that are, very intricate. I mean, look at the work on them, and they look very old. They're everywhere. And, of course, very old. What is very old, right? I mean, a couple of thousand years. Don't know what that was. Maybe we'll have to have a look at that. This is that Lion Mound. Is that what they call it? The Lion Fort. I think it's in Pakistan, and this is how it was found. Old, chopped up, and this is it now. They've redone it, probably in geopolymer. And that's what we find with a lot of things, right? They just re-facade them, change them up, move them around, and tell us that they're old. And this picture, again, where is it? Okay, this is Venice. A canal being drained and cleaned in Venice, Italy, 1956. So what's going on here? Look at these doorways. Right, just going straight out into the canal. Okay, got our bridge here. We've got, obviously brick foundations going straight down. So man-made canal, right? And what are they digging out? Like seriously, look at the amount of build-up in here. I mean, it looks. I mean, do you reckon you can see a line? That could be a water line. It could be a dirt line. But I mean, there's not much space here. Like, it doesn't look like it was ever used as a canal. They're saying they're cleaning it out, but I would say maybe it's that they're emptying it because it's never been used before because it's been filled. And they've got their dodgy little, train tracks just sitting on the mud, and they're just basically emptying it by the looks of it. And even here in the 50s, it's all been done by hand. They've got these buckets that, may or may not be on another train line. Probably are, because they're pushing them around. I mean, that's the level of tech in the 50s, right? Cleaning out a canal in Venice. But they want us to believe that that's like sediment build-up, and this is just maintenance. But I'd say that's the first time that's been emptied in a long time. You hate to see other people living your dream, a house on a bridge. This bridge house in Ambleside, England, was built. How do I get? Gosh, there. Was built in the 17th century on a bridge over a river in order to avoid paying property taxes, or so they say. If you see the old photos of the London Bridge, it was covered in buildings, like these sort of 3-4 story houses and buildings and things. The whole bridge, and everyone walked underneath. So, clearly, this house, looks like that's a doorway. I'm not sure if you can walk through this house, but why are all these bridges? It's a good question. Why are they all made of brick? Like, they all seem, over-engineered for people to walk across, or for horse and carts, right? Because, we've seen you can build wooden ones, which would be easier. I mean, of course, they built everything well and to last forever, but did all these brick bridges have buildings on top of them? Who knows, right? This, Bolivia, El Salar. What do you reckon? Looks a little bit like, an old civilization that's been destroyed, a bit of melt from plasma maybe. Who knows? Up here on the hill looks very, citadel, fort-like. We see that everywhere. But that's pretty interesting pic, eh? It looks like we got doorways down here. So that's in Bolivia. This is the sculpture in a Buddha park in Vientiane, Laos. So Laos, this looking, fairly like Kiwi, right? Maori. Interesting. Then we've got, more Indian influenced statues over here. We've got the tridents, of course. Is that Shiva? Some things, but what is this? What's this building? Of course, they'll probably tell us it's a fort, right? So that, they had archers shooting out these windows or something. But I mean, look at this thing. It looks like a bowl with holes. So I don't know, pretty interesting. Can't see what's on top there, but it looks like some kind of spire. That is a llama in a taxi in New York. Just because, it wouldn't be a good day without seeing a llama in a taxi in New York. Of course, it's not a llama corn, but it is a llama. It's halfway there. Oh, look at that. That's what we're watching. This is New York. Not sure what the year is. I guess it's around 1920s, but it says that this pyramid is made out of 85,000 German helmets, like war helmets. As you can see, they got their cannons and they're all around. So they made a pyramid out of the helmets. Fairly interesting. This is Harbour County, Louth Island, late 19th century. Just a typical scene. And again, all these, what's this? 1, 2, 3. That's at least 4 stories, this building. These are all 3 at least, close to the water, masonry buildings. This is cobblestone by the looks. It looks like they've uncovered this bit, but not the rest of the road. But look what they're using, horse and cart, wooden chips, wooden ladders here. You've got the old ladder lane. And look in the background, right? We've got this massive aqueduct looking thing. So again, it's like these people without the right level of tech living in this, over-tech world. A couple of pyramids. This is an island, that these are now gone. We showed this in one of the chats with Luke from Ancient Historia. But yeah, basically an island in the middle of the Nile. And look at the size of these, because look at the size of this building. It looks like a pretty big building, right? Just dwarfed by these. And if these look like people, right? They're just dots. So this is the kind of stuff that we used to have, and it's gone. As you can see, this one's got a statue on top, and this one's got a temple on top. No capstone. This, again, not sure. I think this is the same as those other statues we saw, the Asian-looking ones. But see this symbol on the front. This looks like Squatter Man. If you can see that. You can see, the arms going out, legs. Sort of a stylized Squatter Man. What do you think? And it looks like it's like a hand grabbing something. But Squatter Man, the plasma, that's the shape that you see that is formed when there's plasma discharges in the sky. And this is a sunflower door in Prague, 1900. It says it was built Prague in the Czech Republic. And look at this, hey? Very cool. These sunflowers are awesome. We've got a sun at the bottom here. Whoops. Sun on the water. And then this, cool LED light with what looks like blue lotus. They look like blue lotus, which is a hallucinogenic plant from Egypt. So that's interesting. And made out to be a sun again. So very sunny. Sun, sun, sun. All right, I'll have a look at a few more and then I'll have a chat. This is the Valley of Temples in Sicily. And yes, this is a real photo. I mean, I don't know what this was made. I think these are made of copper or something, brass, but don't know where they got how it's cracked like this. You know, who knows, is that maybe that's got something to do with some kind of reset plasma discharge? I don't know. Maybe it was built like to look like this. I don't know. But as you can see, it's just lying on the ground amongst rubble. I do have a few more pictures. This is one more of these statues, and it looks very Sumerian, right? It's just got that, just the way they're done, kind of artwork. It's really all the same all across the realm. And this man is wearing a pith helmet, so don't take the pith out of him. Here we are back in Sicily, Valley of the Temples. And again, this, copper, right? It's gone green. So this looks like a copper statue. It looks like he's got wings on the back, or winger. But what happened there, right? He's been smacked over. This has lost its roof. You can see it's not level. The land's coming off down here. It looks like a wall's been buried. It's just this ancient site. And why are all ancient sites destroyed, right? What's going on? Well, I think we know what's going on. All right, so there we go. That's my pictures. Where am I? There I am. Hello. Hello. I'm back. Sumerians, Iraq. Well, Sumerian, is in that region, we're told. So yeah, I mean, it's all been mixed up and messed about. They tell us that, society, began in, what do they say, 6,000 years ago in Mesopotamia, between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, the Fertile Crescent. But there's nothing there. Like, it's a desert. Why would we think that the first large human civilization would come up in a desert? Because while you're looking for food, you don't have time to start building civilizations. You need to get your food and your shelter sorted first, right? That's what I would think. Oh, Paul Cook, hello, welcome. How you going there? How is Malta? Hope you're having fun. Hello, Robert Glover. Of course, check out Paul's channel. He's Paul Cook. He's going around Malta, looking at all the geopolymer, basically one big star fort out there. So maybe I'll have to come out. You can show me around sometime, Paul. Just got to get my passport sorted first. Hogwash timeline, Hogwarts timeline. Ooh, so the timelines, man, there's something going on with timelines. I've been looking into all these pictures and maps and things for, quite a few years now. And that the thing about history is it's not a linear line. It's not a line that you can go blah, 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 blah. It's got all these side bits that don't seem to fit into one timeline. So it looks like, I don't know. All right, there's something going on with timelines, I think. Things have been meshed or melded, or maybe are we looking at, stuff that's from a different timeline? Are we looking at, some of these maps could be, who knows, right? They could be 2,000 years old when we're told they're, 200 or 300. It's very hard. But anyway, who has the fascies today? Well, the fascists. Like the American government. I mean, it's all over there. Look at the back of the walls of Congress and that. They got fascies on the walls. They got statues. I think there's a statue of Lincoln with a couple of fascies. It's everywhere. Just got to look. Fascies, fashion, fascism, fascist. It's all these words. So fashion, right? Fashion as well is this thing. I mean, fashion it's fascist because it gets everyone to dress the same, but with this idea that you're all dressing differently, right? Because you're in the latest fashion. But if everyone's in the latest fashion, then you're all dressing the same, and fashion doesn't exist. It's very interesting. All right, Zal Moxus, how you going? Picking tigers on the case of Malta. Yeah. Saw a bit of one of your videos this morning, Paul, walking around the streets of Malta, showing some interesting graffiti. So yes, all right, so I have one more presentation, so let me see if I'm ready. Lunatic asylums, right? Lunatic asylums. Now this one Oh, okay. I don't have a ton of images there. Why did I thought I had more than that? But we'll have a look at. This was the largest lunatic asylum in Sydney. So let's have a look. Is that it? Yeah. Okay. So where are we? I shall share my screen. Share screen. Share screen. This one. Okay. So this is the Gladesville Mental Hospital. The Gladesville Mental Hospital, formerly known as the Tarban Creek Lunatic Asylum, was a psychiatric hospital established in 1838. Okay, 50 years after Captain Cook landed, they had to build a massive lunatic asylum. Yeah, what was going on, right? In the Sydney suburb of Gladesville, the hospital officially closed in 1993, with the last inpatient services ceasing in 1997. Before 1838, people with mental or emotional problems in the Sydney area were housed in a lunatic asylum in Gladesville, a suburb located on the Parramatta River's northern banks between Sydney and Parramatta, or they were housed in the female factory at Parramatta. Factory, interesting. 24 kilometres west of Sydney. So now I think we have some pictures here. Is that it? That's not the right one. Oh my gosh, I'm so not organized. Let's do this. So this is Tarban Creek, and there's not, I couldn't find hardly any pictures of this, back sort of pre-1950s, really. But they're saying, I mean, this is a very small photo, this one, yeah. That's tiny, but that's it back up in the background. But basically, this is it, right? This huge building built for people who lost their minds. Okay, let's see what... So it's a strange one because there's not that many photos. And you can see it's just been left to rot now. It said it closed in 1997, but now it's just left to rot, basically. And look at some of the features. Look at this. We've got a pillar here in the wall. We've got these scrolls. We've got an arch here that's been filled in, flattened off. We've got these. I still don't know what these are called. We see these under all the sills, under all the eaves. You can see that on top is a portico, like a triangle. It's very, what we're told, Greco-Romano, right? Here's another one. Is this it? No, that's not it. Gosh, give me the right pictures, Google. Here's another one, just showing it's falling into disrepair. Clearly, an old brick building. That's clearly what they'll tell us is a fireplace. Here's another one. That might be what I think that's what we were just looking at. But look at this. I mean, this is a part of a lunatic asylum that they want us to believe. Apart from the fact that it's buried, right? You can see that's not the actual original ground level there. It's just this. Oh, there you go. Gladesville Mental Asylum. And so this is what it looks like that. Oh gosh, they're just showing us the same photo now. Show me something different. That's Victoria, so we don't want to see that one. All right, let me go back to my pictures. So we do have, let's click on this one. Again, see, and you can see this is a lunatic asylum. Look at all these features that are exactly the same as what we see all over the realm. 1838, they said they built this. All right, within 50 years of landing in Australia. So have I got, let me stop sharing and I will go back here and I will share again. I thought I had more pics, but clearly I don't. This is what's underneath. It's got these tunnels with these brick arched ceilings underneath this lunatic asylum. So here's that picture again. As you can see, very, very Greco-Romano. All brick. You can see that there. Oh, that's a brick wall behind it, the fireplace. So this looks like it was some kind of, whatever it was, right? Factory, house, whatever it was used for, but just clearly an old world building. And you see this with a lot of lunatic asylums. They're not just one building. There's lots of them, like on a big estate. And they sort of, it's like they've found an old town, right? Or an old, I don't know, factory or an old something. Because you can see this is a separate building here, huge building. What was this that they've cemented over? It was probably, well, there you go, right? Fountain. But they've, tried to tidy it up. All these, trap doors, right? Going down to lower levels. And again, just that corner, you can see they've come in and they've bricked this up. But so this is, I thought I had more pictures. Sorry about that. So that's Gladstone Mental Hospital. So pretty interesting. And again, not a lot on it. It kind of just tells you the story, right? Which we get with them all. Suddenly someone decided to build this, so they built it. No explanation of how, where the workforce came from, where the materials came from. They never tell us any of that. They just built it, and then it basically stands there. This one was up for a long time. They say 1838, and it was used through to 1997. They changed the name from lunatic asylum to hospital. And hospital, hospital, right? What is that? Hospice? Where's that word come from? Hospitality to, I don't know. Might have to look into that. But anyway, there we go. How is everyone? We're coming up on the hour. Oh, and Zal Moxis is still up there as a comment. Most of them on a river or waterway shipped in. Mental asylums, really? Okay, yeah, right. The one in Melbourne was definitely on, and that one was, yeah, okay. That's an interesting point. Thank you, 17 Joy. These old star forts built to represent and showcase cymatics like church windows, lasers, and Jews or hells. What's a hell? Are using frequency horns to bring down the impenetrable walls of Jericho. Melted bricks. Yeah. Well, Jericho, we've got quite a few, examples of things being destroyed by weapons from above. Sodom and Gomorrah as well. Yeah, I would say, definitely they're there to show the natural cymatics of the natural earth energies, and that's definitely put through. Churches and all this. Yeah, I mean, Jew, I guess I'm not sure. I guess they're frequency weapons, aren't they? Yes, basically, yes. 5-leaf clover. Napa Kirkbride has brick-lined tunnels. There you go. Where is that? Napa State Hospital. What's Napa? Napa. Are you telling me it's Gladesville? Okay, Gladesville. I was wondering about that, but in Australia we normally drop that, right? Gladesville. Okay, thank you, 17 Joy. But I'm glad you told me that. You sure are. Baby incubator, window shopping. Yeah. Well, I mean, this is the thing. So if they got to Australia and they basically found all these buildings and a population of people, what would they do with those people? If they're at war, that we know that the First Fleet wasn't full of convicts. It was an army. They came in with an army and basically started war with the natives. So were lunatic asylums just a way to reprogram, deprogram people, lock them away if they wouldn't conform? Definitely, the whole mothers and stealing babies things. Because we have this story of bushrangers in Australia, which we're told, were Caucasians who were fighting the government. And, obviously we're told that they were just out there robbing people, right? Highway, what are they called? Highwaymen in the USA. But, you know, you look into the stories and not a lot of the stories are talking about them going around just being thieves and robbers. You know, when you look into them, they don't say that. That they all look like they're people who are fighting the system, right? The government, which means, you know, could they have been here beforehand? Could they be, you know, the offspring of the people that were here when the invasion happened? And does that mean there were white people here as well? Because we do have stories from the natives saying that there were white people here, that there were cities out in the desert full of white people. So, you know, is that another thing that they were using lunatic asylums for, to lock up these people that were, you know, like us, right? Speaking out against the government. All right. Hello, Spiritual Sunshine. Oh, what a happy name. Just tuning in. I was just watching Kelly and JC's last video. So good. Is that the two Aussie chicks one where Kelly tells her stories? Yes. So, yeah, obviously, yes, we're doing a live event soon. We just recorded another podcast that'll be going up soon. And, yes, Kelly and I are working on a few ideas and format changes, maybe for Tartaria, Australia. So we're thinking we might do a bit more variety show type stuff. So, you know, get Kelly to tell some of her stories and all of that kind of stuff. So, oh my gosh, who's calling me? Sorry, that was my phone. There's no name on my phone, so it doesn't get answered. So if you are trying to contact me, anyone watching, send me a message, because if I get phone calls that I don't know, that don't have a name, I don't answer them. Yeah, right. Yeah, Kiwi and Oz, hello, and thank you for being a member, channel member. Exactly right. And then we heard about all this, the video camps, shall we call them? Rum was a currency, yeah, apparently. Didn't they use rum for vitamin C as well? That's what I heard. Bushrangers sound like Robin Hood, exactly. Same kind of thing, exactly right. I agree. Hostessing communion, blah, blah, blah. Oh my gosh, so many. Where are we down here? I'll catch up to the, here we are. Highway robbery. They lunatized them. Lunatized. Ooh. And of course, lunar, moon, what's going on there? Makes sense. Lock them up and adopt, set up the children, yeah. And if you do that, that's how you break the chain in one generation, right? You take people's kids when they're babies and, you know, then they never know their parents, so you break the chain. They never know the history. So Joy now, hello, how are you? So Joy is coming to Melbourne. Woohoo, flying over from WA. So there you go. You don't have to live in Melbourne to come to the Melbourne show. You can just come. Who would eat who? Who would eat who? To Melbourne? Well, you should come. I don't know where you are. You might be in a different country. Cannibalism, you sure? Why are you talking about eating people? That's not very nice. I mean, there was definitely a lot of cannibalism going on by the muggles, you know, the oppressors, these crazy people that think they can rule us. Seems to be a lot in the, you know, late 1600s, early 1700s, which kind of makes me think that was, you know, after a big kind of reset, and that looks like when they were remapping the realm, trying to find out what was there, what the shape of everything was, and, you know, yeah, you find a lot of that. But obviously that's linked to a lot more stuff, which I can't really talk about on this platform, but, you know, the whole, you know, pizza thing, shall we say. JJ Reckon, hello. Thank you. Another channel member. Big love to Max Eigen, chilling in Texas, I heard. Yes, they're getting Max Eigen to go and talk with Martin and Jason, who are putting on a live show. When is that? Is that today? That might be today. I don't know. All right, where are we? The Out of Australia theory has been something I've always believed in since coming to Australia as a kid. Yeah, well, the Out of Africa, I mean, they've pretty much dropped the Out of Africa now. Like, they probably still teach it in schools, but if you talk to the academics, I think they've pretty much dropped that because they've got no evidence for it. Who knows, right? Is it out of Australia? Was it out of lots of different places? I tend to think that some populations have come down from the north. So I think, we've got different peoples down here, right? And then we know we've got different blood types. We do, right? We have different, four different blood types. Then we have the RH, positive and negative thing. And this is why the whole, question with diet, what should I eat? What should I eat? That's why what is good for someone isn't good for the person next to them necessarily, because different genetics, different blood types, one could be RH positive, one could be RH negative. These are all different makeups of our physical, machine. And so it means they all run differently. So, yeah, it's a good one. But I went out and I spoke with Uncle Lewis yesterday, who is the tribal leader of this area. And we had a good chat. He's very cool. We talked about, he talks a lot about water and flow and how water is. And Kelly and I have kind of, discussed this, is water God? And actually, I saw another video by Eileen McCusick, who's into tuning forks, and she was kind of saying the same thing. Like, water is, so we all take in water, right? We're 60, 70% water. And then that water inside us, we program, right, with frequency, as we know through the work of Dr. Emoto. And then what do we do with that water? We expel it, right? Right, whatever, right? We perspire it out. So water comes into us and we program it. So, this is the thing. If we're in, angry moods and annoyed and poor little me kind of stuff, we're taking good water that the rest of the world will at some point use, and we're charging it with a negative low frequency. And then we're putting that back out into the world. So that's why you should be thinking good thoughts, right? Not just for you, for the entire realm, right? And Uncle Lewis sort of talks about it, in a generational kind of thing. We have, the water in us, we program it. Then, when we pass, it goes back into the land, and then the plants use it, and then that goes back into the rivers, and humans drink it. And so it's this constant information that is being passed through us. And when we hold it, we add our story to it, I guess. So, we are all connected, just through water, even if you don't want to talk about frequency. Like, it's one big, organism, one big sort of, what's the word? But, one self-fulfilling energetic ball that we're all connected. So this is the thing, the thoughts we have literally this is why we're literally creating the world that we inhabit. And so you can talk about this on all these different levels. You can talk about it on a basic level of, if you walk up to someone and tell them that they suck, that'll make them feel bad. Then you can get into the energy behind that. But then you get into the water, right? We take in water, we program it, we put it back out into the world, and then that's the world that we inhabit and experience. So we create everything, It's all your fault. It's all my fault. It's all everyone's fault. Right? Because if it's not your fault, you can't fix it. You've got a problem that can't be fixed. So you don't want to be there. You don't want to be pointing the finger saying, this all sucks because it's everyone else. What intention are we putting into life? I've just bought, I don't have it here, but like a copper jug and a copper mug, and I'm putting my water in the copper jug, and I'm sticking words on it like Dr. Emoto did, health, love, happiness, all this kind of stuff. And it sits in my jug, and then I pour it into my copper glass and I drink it. So that's one thing you can do. So, we're all creating this world. Like, this whole thing of it's the cabal, or it's the whatever, right? That's only true if you're following them, which means if you're following them, then it's you who's creating it because you're following them. Bit of a rant there. Don't know where that came from. Hope that made sense. Love you all. So there you go. For the play music, yeah. 432 frequency to water, yeah, exactly. You can also vortex your water, just run it, so it spirals. Tuning forks, And people are even putting like copper antennas into things like water tanks. I saw one where they were putting it into a water tank that then was feeding the chickens, and they started getting more eggs. So there's all these things we can do. There you go. Copper antenna culture. Exactly right. So there's all these things and all this information, and a lot of this information we didn't have even 5 years ago, right? But it's coming up. So we need to use it and put it into action, right? What is coprolite? I don't know what coprolite is. Sounds cool. Strange magic, little opalized Venus bottle talisman. Oh, what's that? Oh my gosh. Distilled water in a copper jug. Distilled water. Yeah, I would research that. I've heard that distilled water, because it doesn't have a lot of stuff in it, right? Nutrients and other, other elements apart from hydrogen and oxygen, that it can strip your body, it can suck elements out of you. So I would look into that. I'm not an expert on it, so don't take my word for it. What's in the air even? We breathe it, we drink it. Yeah, exactly right. And I was watching Old World Florida the other day, and someone, I think it was his brother, quoted Rife. It might have been Rife. Was it Rife? No, it wasn't Rife. Neville Goddard, maybe. One of those people. And they were talking about, vegetarianism, and basically they said, what, if you're spiritually tuned, whatever you don't get from physical food, you'll get from the air. You'll breathe it in. And then we get back to the whole breatharian thing, and, there's no toilets in Tartaria, right? But they had the plumbing systems for fountains. So what's going on there? Who knows? Well, thank you very much, Redlands Bay Renegade. Thank you for being here, and thank you. Pamela Swan, thank you. Woohoo, 528, Hertz. Yep. All the solfeggios, 432, Schumann resonance, all these different things. But the main thing I think is all tune, specific frequencies are good. They're just not necessarily all good for you, right? They're good for someone, something. So it's a process of working out where you need to tune yourself, to what frequency. So tuning forks are awesome. Link below if you want to get some. Get 10% off with the code word AUTO. Copper in the blood helps with arthritis. There you go, does it? Yeah, so copper mugs, guys. Basically all the metal we get now is like stainless steel, right, as far as cups. So I'd stay away from that. All the drink bottles, definitely try and stay away from the plastic, even the BPA-free stuff. It's got no energy. It's got no... And this is the thing, like, not everything's not physical. They say, but physically it's got no BPA, but energetically it's got no aura, right? It's got nothing, and that's what's charging the water while it sits in there. So it's worth, paying a bit more. It is more to get, copper drink bottles and things, but, it's your health, right? You're going to be charging the water because you're in charge, right? May as well charge well. Is what legal? I don't know. Frequency, yes. Magnets, yes. Magnets as well. You can use that in your gardens as well. Look into it. South side facing up, and you can then connect it to like, wire, right? Metal wire, and you can run that through your gardens. And I think magnets also work really well with sprouting seeds to make them stronger and sprout faster and all that kind of stuff. Music, well, yeah, man, music can make emotion for sure. They know this, right? That's why that's why they've infiltrated the music industry, the muse, right? Muse, quite amusing. Yeah, I mean, of course, songs can make people cry, make people happy, make people dance. So that, again, the vibration, that's why we need the high vibe, right? High vibe. There's, again, the Dr. Emoto work, it shows like symphony music next to heavy metal, and you can see the difference in frequency. Ken Wheeler, there you go. Anyone know how to pronounce his name? Apophidius, whatever it is. Oh, JCK, woohoo, hello, thank you for being here. My rant was perfect. Oh, thank you very much. don't mind a good rant. And of course, JCK, part of the trilogy for Tartaria and beyond in Melbourne. Link below. Get your tickets now. It will be awesome. All right. Cindy Blankenship, the frequency changed our atmosphere to more negative. Yeah, so we have a macro system, which is nature. And all the stuff that we see, all the, Star Forts, cathedrals, all this stuff, they're all utilizing that natural energy system. They're all built on the places that naturally had more good energy coming out of them, right? I think it's more energy, right? Because I don't think nature makes bad energy, right? It might be not the best for you, but basically all pure frequencies are good. So yeah, it was all built on the natural energy grid, and then that's why they've come in and destroyed it, right? They've destroyed the cathedrals, we know the story, right? The bells, the pipe organs, all this kind of stuff, all this frequency things, and dogs. Dogs are animals, birds. Birds, there's a war on birds, right? What do birds do? They sing. They sing the flowers open in the morning. Dogs are our protectors. They can sense bad energy. We know this, right? Like dogs are the first to sense any, all these ghosts and all these weird things. It's dogs. And then dogs will protect us. They will literally put down their life to protect us. They've been taken, right? And now we just have these handbad dogs, these genetically modified little things that can't sense or protect anything. So it's definitely a war on frequency. But saying that, we are frequency, and we have all the tools to increase that again. And focusing on, what we don't have is just going to give us more of that, right? So let's focus on what we do have and what we want, and how we can use this information going forward. Because, and we've sort of touched on this in the last podcast, which isn't out yet, that we did with JC and Kelly. We've spent more than 3 years, everyone waking up, getting all this information, blah, blah, blah. I know this, I know that. Oh my God, look at this. But what are we doing with that? Because from my perspective, looking out, what I can see is TV came out and it was TV's, fake news, don't watch TV, blah, blah, blah. So people turn off their TVs. And then, a lot of these people went out and they started getting TV and putting it on YouTube and on social media. So the news just morphed into social media. And of course, we then got it 10 times as much, 100 times as much. So we're now getting more news than we ever got because it's all over social media. And people are putting it out there like, look at this, it's so bad, it's so bad. Yeah, we know. We don't need that hammered into our reality. If all we're going to watch is things are bad, look what they're doing, oh my God, we have no power, right? We're victims, oh, it's such a slave thing. Well, that's where we're going to stay, because we are the creators. We're the creators. We create everything. This is the dream, right? We're in the mind of God, if you want to put it that way. And we create our reality. So by what we focus on, and we have these sayings, right? Where attention goes, energy flows, right? We've got all these sayings. So yeah, I forgot what the question was, but anyway, I'm ranting again. But this is up to us, right? What are we going to do with all the info that we've got over the last 3 years? Because if we just keep sitting around talking about it, we're not going forward, are we? So we have this stuff, we have frequency, we can use this today. We can, make something that spirals our water. We can buy some copper cups. We can, stop watching or listening to bad, frequency music and shows, and start putting what we want into our mind. Because the more we do that, the more we become that. Because I was talking about before, the water, when it comes into our body, we program it and then we put it back out into the environment, right? We do the same with our aura, our biofield. What we think about becomes part of our memory and part of our makeup. So if we're only focusing on, oh my God, it's so bad, look at what Biden's doing, look at what this person's doing, look at what that person's doing. Well, that's where we're putting our energy, and that's what we're creating. And this is the big scam. Those that wish to rule us cannot create. So they don't have that creation in them, but they want to be false gods. They want to be a god. So they make us create their reality. How? The news, the propaganda, the movies. If we buy into it, we create it for them. And it's pretty much that simple, I think. There we go. I'm ranting. Kevin Bell just meditated 45 minutes. Well done. I've started meditating again. I'm only sort of up to half an hour at the moment, but I'm going to get through up. So I'm doing over an hour a day, which is another thing. Right? This is how we create. If we can create something in our mind that's real, then it's real. Even if we don't see it, the only thing that we've got to get around is there's a time lag. Right? We have to then build our frequency up to match our vision, and then we get to interact with it. Oh, thank you, Hippie. I appreciate you too, and all your work. And thank you to all the mods and to everyone who is here, everyone who supports me. Love you all. Please give me a like, share, all that good stuff. Mish, I'm not going to attempt SWB4. Plymouth. Wow, out near Plymouth Rock, which apparently is still above seawater. Imagine that. The oceans have not risen since, what was it? 1400s, 1500s? I don't know. Whenever the Plymouth Rock was made, the Plymouth Rock. Going to a forest. Yes. Trees are natural antennas that are hooked into the earth, that are probably hooked into the mycelium system, which is the natural internet, right? The fungi. And yeah, the trees have knowledge. That's one of the biggest messages I've been getting over the last month from people around me is go and sit near trees, walk through trees, ask a question, and then go walk. Wonder and wander. There you go. Turn on an AM radio and watch the waves come through. Oh, how do we do that? What waves come through what? I mean, but analog systems are much better than digital. They're much more open circuit. Digital is closed circuit. Not good for us, not good frequencies. Many heavy PP in the water world, right? Yeah, man. Just make your pee happy. Bam. Nice. Oh, there you go. Yes. Did I watch that? I don't know if I saw that one. I think I did. But yes, go and check out JCK Quantum Truth channel. She's got some great interviews on there. And are you still on the fast? JC's actually on a water fast and is doing updates, doing short videos. So go and check them out as well. Fasting is good. We've got to clean the stuff out, right? There's enough crap coming in, so we kind of need to. Oh my gosh, I got all these messages. Oh my God. Sorry, I'm reading like messages from like 5 minutes ago. Yes, wander and wonder in the trees. Exactly right. We need more wonder, because if you want your life to be wonderful, then it has to be full of wonder, right? So you must wonder, and it's easy to wonder while you wander. There you go. The Wombles of Wimbledon, wombling free. Is that what it says? Okay, where are we? Swissyland. Switzerland is where the real name at. NME? What's that? Hello, Mac A. Switzerland is where the real. What's an NME? Who's telling Jay? I'm missing most of these comments here. Don't be scared to tell the truth. I agree. Always speak your truth. Much more scary to not speak the truth. Mish, Daddy's from Melbourne land. Oh, are you coming to our event and bringing your father? I hope so. How do you deal with hangriness on a water fast? Oh, there you go. One for JC. I'm bad, right? I haven't even done a fast. I need to do this. I'm surrounded by all these very disciplined people, and I have to build my own discipline, right? What I've been told by everyone who's done them is it's not really an issue. Your body maybe for the first day or two, but then, your body sort of changes, starts, I guess eating your reserves and all that. But you'd have to ask someone who's done one like JCK. It's 4:44 p.m. here. It is 9:44 a.m. Saturday morning here. Saturday morning. Yes. Oh, thank you. Yes. If you do want to support me, you'll find links below. I do appreciate it. Oh, here we go. So salt water is the key, ensuring. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, you put up a short the other day saying that you didn't have enough electrolytes and you crashed a bit. So there you go. That's how you stop the hangriness. Make sure you're getting salts. And there you go. Thank you, Sherry Ives. There is a link to, I think that's JCK's channel. It's just something JCK. So click on that and go and check it out. All right, let's see. Have I actually got anything left in my repertoire? I think we've been through all that. What was that video that popped up before? Was that anything interesting? Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. We can have a look at that, I think. One sec. I will just get it sorted. This is all to do. Okay. Sorry. Hang on. Where's the volume? Oh my God. Oh, there. Okay. So this is a video that I came across somewhere, Facebook maybe. But this is all looking at water power. Right? All these things that are still out there all over the realm, still working. We know that water is such a big thing, right? Water is current, water is power. So let's have a look. Oh, there. Oh, is that it? That was a bit short. Let's have another look. Oh, there we go. So there, just a short thing, just showing you that, that's very steampunky, right? Like we that because we live in a world where we have electricity and electricity is the power, we tend to think that that's what they would have needed to have in an advanced society, like the Tartarian society. But as you saw, it doesn't need to be that complex. I think things are a lot more simple. People could make those things, right? Just pull it, bars and cogs and things and set up fairly simple, little machines, I guess, that give them what they need. And that can all be run off water, right? We can use water current instead of electrical current. It's just a different way of looking at things. Of course, water current is free, right? Everything flows downhill, right? If you want free energy, build a hill, I guess. There you go. So, oh, thank you. Thank you very much. All right, so we've been going for an hour and a half here. So I might bid you all adieu. I have lots of work to do. Going to get some video today of the piece of land where I'm going to build my house, my dome home. And so I'll start putting up more videos, get stuff for the lives and that to show you what's going on in this 150-acre farm that I am residing on with Kelly Jones. And of course, we are going to be live, myself, JCK, Kelly Jones. You get the trifecta in Melbourne, Tartaria and beyond, coming up in just under a month. Just below, go get yourself some. They're starting to sell out quick. There's still I think a few hundred left, but they will go fast. So if you don't want to miss out, go and grab one. And we will be doing a bit of a walk around on Sunday to make sure that we get to sort of meet and greet everyone. But there'll be time to say hello if you want to come and say hello with us, all that kind of stuff. JC wants to hug everyone, so come and hug us all, do all that cool stuff. Please share this video, give me a like, subscribe. If you want to support me in any way, you will find links below. And thank you all for being here. I appreciate you all. Have an amazing day. And I'll talk to you all on the next upload. Bye for now.
as I was